Hi, what's going on, everybody? Uh, yeah, it was a frustrating morning, uh, to say the least. I get into my numbers later, but bigger picture, overall for the market or for Nasdaq futures today, you can see we broke through that right at the open. We broke through that support. Um, it had a very volatile drop, bearish that got the best of me today, but it was still okay. So let's see here. Actually, okay, now this is just the arrow. So let me put a line there so you can see it. All right, so ignore this yellow line. This is just the arrow. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and delete that. I don't need that right now. All right, so you see right here. As soon as the market opened, um, the bears came in, broke through the support there. It hung around there for a minute, and that's in this area here, that's where I took the biggest hit, right in that little area right there. I was too aggressive, the first 5 minutes. Um, I traded way too much there, but okay, I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But okay, so um, now I didn't trade. I took a loss here of $305 in the TS account, but I didn't take a trade here um, until what time was it? Until right here at like 10:30. And that's because the strategy that I use here is completely based off the 5 minute. There's a 5 minute strategy that I use here, so I didn't even have an entry. Like I could have been aggressive here, but the way that the market was, how volatile the market was at this point, the best I didn't take it, and then if I would have taken it, as after I did a review, the best I would have got was a scalp. You know, I could have overmanaged it and got a little bit more, but yeah, that it would have been a scalp if I would just let it play out. Um, so I was just, I didn't take any trades here. I was trading over in my cash account, and with that being said, yeah, I took the biggest hit there. I lost $550 in that one. Like I said in the beginning, I was way too aggressive, and um, I didn't recover well after taking those two losses too early. Because if we, all right, so as far as the Topstep account, see, I took one here. It didn't. I can't remember what's to say. Let me see. All right, so that first one was a loser. Okay, so I only had one win here for a scalp, and then just to keep trading it because there's this trading in this kind is really not about making money. There's there's another goal for this account. It's really to kind of test out this 5 minute strategy, but which is not a big deal because this is it's really paper trading. Um, which brings up a good point that I bring up later. But so okay, so this one I took a loss here, it's $115. Then I saw that I had another opportunity here. That one only ended up being a scalp because the market was still super volatile. Even though we see this big drop here, with my break even, that protects me from taking a unnecessary loss when I'm in profit. That it only ended up being a break even. Now, had I not had that break even, um, by the design of my strategy, I still would have taken a loss, and that's just because of where the stop loss would have been placed. So that was actually a good trade there, even though it was only small. I didn't get to catch this ride here. And then I saw another one. There's another opportunity or another entry that happened here. and it ended up being the biggest loss of the day in this account. So um, let's talk about this break even for a minute. So I've seen a lot of videos lately about stops and people talking bad about using a stop loss. And this is a good example of, like in some instances, using a stop loss can be, not a good thing, but the reason why people say that, stop losses are bad is because they say that market makers or whoever can look out there and they can see your stops. Now I know I'm trading futures, which is slightly different in than trading stocks, but still they can, like I don't use a level 2 here, but anyway, at any rate, because I've seen this with stocks too. Um, they say that market makers can see your stops, which is true. You can look at the level 2 or whatever, and you can see what orders are hanging out there, and you can see the stops. But a lot of times, the way that I see it is people take trading too personal. You got to understand that there's millions of people out there that's trading and investing, that's being active in the stock market. People is highly, I don't see that it is very likely that you got these people out there that's just looking to eat up your own personal stops. I don't think people care about your trades that much. Everybody has their strategy. There are people out there that knows the popular strategies, and they take advantage of that, to their benefit, but at the detriment of others. But it's not. I don't see it as being a thing about people are out there looking for your stops and they want to take your stops to take you out of a trade. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done this with stocks as well. This is a paper trading account, so and with paper trading, and I've also done it with the same. I've noticed the same thing in Sierra Chart, that platform with paper trading as well. Because I used to feel the same way. I was like, you can't, you kind of, we're human, so we can't help but feel like, we can't help but take things personal sometimes. So, but nobody's out there looking at paper trading stops. No one has anything, even if you could, because you really can't, because if paper trades are only on that system, are only on the system of whoever is hosting it. So, like if you have an account with a broker that has their own paper trading setup, it's only within their system. The paper trades don't go out there in the market. So, you know, even if you could see other people's paper trades, what purpose would it serve you to go out there and have a strategy where you're taking away their paper trade stops? It's really doesn't serve a purpose. So it's not really personal. It's just that's just the way that the market moves sometimes. And sometimes there's a lot of things that go into what moves the price and all that stuff. So it's what you can't really take it personal when your stops get hit and it takes you out of what could have been a bigger winner, or what you could have taken, if you took a loss that should have been a winner. um, Most of the times that's on you. You have to go and you have to look at, okay, is there something in my strategy that's wrong that I need to fix, or if it's just a bad day. Every strategy works, but they don't work all the time. So like today for my 5 minute strategy, it's just a bad day for the strategy. Other days this strategy works out really well. As you saw yesterday, the strategy could have made more than I actually made, but it just so happened that the price action of the market today, it my strategy didn't work out so well. My 5 minute strategy. So anyway, enough of that. Um, so that's what happened in my TS Trader account. Now, what happened in my live account? At first I was kind of, to piggyback off of what I was just talking about the stocks. I was kind of blaming the market at first, even though, except for me being too aggressive in the first 5 minutes. I got in my feelings, and I was um, because it wasn't the easiest day to trade, but it really wasn't. The market wasn't the biggest issue, because after I walked away for a minute and took myself away from my platform and all that stuff for a minute after I took my last loss. I went back and I reviewed the price action in relations to um, the strategy that I use over there, which is based off the 1 minute chart. And I actually could have been profitable today. I I noticed that so like one of the trades, I think the second trade that I took, or the second winner that I took, I it was a small win, but I actually ended up over managing that trade, so I could have had a bigger win if I would have just let it play out. But I was already, emotionally um, in the wrong place from taking being too aggressive in that first 5 minutes, and so like I just didn't recover from that, and then I ended up taking. I think I took one somewhere around in here. I don't remember exactly where the trades were, but the first winner I had, I did over manage it, but I kind of I didn't trade it well at the end of the day, because I didn't go back and look at exactly where I got in, but I do remember that I took myself out of the trade. I didn't let the trade just play out according to the strategy, and my thinking at the time was that I saved myself from a loss because it would have ended up being a loser however I played it. But when I went back later um, and reviewed my trades of the day, I couldn't even see exactly where that would have happened, why I would have taken a trade that would have ended up being a loser, because if I would have traded my strategy perfectly, then I wouldn't have had any losers at that time period. So sometimes that's another lesson that I got. Um, it's not anything that I didn't know before, but sometimes we can get caught up into what's going on. If I did make a mistake in the first 5 minutes, I overtraded there, but um, that kind of took me off my game, and it's hard to realize these things in the moment because you're caught up in your emotions, you're caught up in what's going on in the market and your trades, and a lot of things can seem like it's easy to blame things external to you, but sometimes you gotta really when you're having a rough day, you gotta look at yourself and see what's going on with you. Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Are you making any mistakes? And my recommendation to that, if you start having consecutive losses and you start blaming the market, you need to take a step back and look at yourself and figure out, okay, if I'm doing, what am I, if I'm, am I doing anything wrong? And if you can pinpoint something that you're doing wrong, then it's probably better to just stop for the day. Stop for the day, and then if you're in the, because you can come back, you can work on whatever you're doing wrong, get your emotions together, get yourself, back in the right state of mind, and then come back the next day, you know, um, with a fresh mind or fresh attitude, and you can avoid making that same mistake again. But if you keep trading in that same day, chances are you're gonna keep making mistakes. You're not gonna. It's just the way that we're wired as human beings. We tend to, get caught up in the emotions and keep making the same mistakes. So anyway, those are the biggest lessons and the insights that I encountered today. So I took a total loss of $855 today. But it's not the end of the world. The market is open tomorrow. I did realize my mistakes, and I know that today, other than the 5 minute strategy, that was really the strategy. Um, it was really the market why the today was not a good day for my 5 minute strategy. So, but as far as my cash account, my live account, then I know that it was mostly me that made the mistakes, or that was the biggest problem um, for me today. It was mostly, it was all of my issues with my cash account were all internal. So I felt better after I realized that, because if I know it's me, then it's, I can, that's something that I can work on. If it's the market, then it's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing you can do about it if it's the market. But if it's you that's making the mistakes, that's something you can work on. That's something you can improve. So yeah, that's my, that's how my day went. That's, my insight on everything that happened today. Um, let's see what else. If you would, okay, so if you agree with what I say, or if you have whatever your opinions are, feel free to leave them in the comment section. If you like this video, like it, and subscribe if you like my channel. See y'all tomorrow. Oh wait, hold on, wait, I forgot one thing. Forgot to mention one thing. Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and I'm going to in the Sierra chart. I'm going to go back and replay the first hour of the day, and just to see what if I would have traded the way that I supposed to trade, how that day would have turned out. So after when I'm done with that, I'm gonna post the results in my Twitter account. So if you want to see the results of me replaying the first hour of the day, go over to my Twitter at mv3trader.com at mv3trader, and I have that posted over there so you can see the difference between what actually happened when I was in my emotions and what should have happened after I went back and replayed that first hour.